So, before we get started, I wanted to show you, I have on Bald Eagle. I don't know if you can see the Buddha eyes on the back of Bald Eagle's huipil today. We're doing some high flying today. Overview, world overview. This is all about interrelationship and connecting everybody to everybody, so we're all connected and involved in this effort. So, here is our coffee reading apparatus. And I just did a journey to Money Spirit, to get some information for you, the viewers, and myself. We all benefit. And I asked Money Spirit to give me a message or tell a story. And Money Spirit said that he would, or she would, tell us a story through money. There's, yes, sorry. He wants to come in. Okay. Hold on. Everybody. Sorry about the interruption. I have to let in the cats and do the door service. Okay, so back to this. So Money Spirit said that he or she would give us a message or tell a story through Money Tiki Statue's mouth. So what I'm gonna do after we take care of our coffee cup reading, I'm going to start the embroidery of Money Tiki's mouth, block it out, and maybe during that process we'll get a message will come through. That's what we'll see what happens. Okay, so before I get started on the coffee grounds reading, wanted to let you know that this is day 2 of a 5-day fast, and I added to the coffee MCT oil. This assists with the fasting process, and just it'll influence the coffee reading. And a couple of other products I wanted to mention in this. If ever you guys are interested in doing fasting, which I really recommend if you want to undergo a major physical transformation in your life and heal some chronic conditions. So Dr. Mindy Pell's promotes Fastonic, which I am taking, especially on a 5-day fast, or this is day 2. So my body is releasing a lot of toxins and heavy metals and the free radicals, especially day 2. That's my experience with these fasts. So I wanted to show you guys if you want to do fasting. So I'll put a link in the description box about the video where Dr. Pells talks about this product. And you don't need to take it, but to move those free radicals out of your body safely, this helps. Okay, and then the other thing that I wanted to show you guys that may be of interest in you, fasting or not fasting. This is Bloom and Sky Shakti Herbal Salt Bath, and Nellie, who runs this company, owns it and grows all the herbs. She's a shamanic practitioner. I know her. I've done work with her. She's a student with the Foundation for Shamanic Studies, like me. And so you can see on the label, handcrafted with organic botanicals, blessed salts, and spirit magic. And these are high quality bath salts that change the water physically. You can feel it, and the water, I feel it starts like vibrating, and it's altered by the salts. And she adds her shamanic practitioner skills to the product. So this I'm gonna do later today, because what happens with in the fasting, especially day 2, I have experience now. My body, the liver, and all of the mitochondria in my every cell, they're releasing a lot of toxins and heavy metals. And what happens to me, every person responds differently, but for me, I get chronic hives, and because the chemicals and the things are coming to the surface of my skin and being released that way. So I discovered all I have to do to feel better is take a bath. And so, since I'm doing a spiritual journey with the fast, I'm going to add Bloom and Sky bath salt to the water. And what I do, I talk to the plants, I talk to the bath salts, and I ask them, to assist and give me some healing, magic with the bath. And it's a really marvelous. I recommend that product really highly. Okay, so those things are covered, and let's do our reading. Let's see here. We're gonna get our book. Here's our book. Since I'm still new at this, we have to use our coffee reading book as a reference. Okay, so let's turn this. This is your coffee cup. I drank the coffee just a moment ago, but this is your reading. Get information, and we're going to only concentrate on the financial. Everything in this video is all having to do with money. So we swing it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Flip it over. Yay! Okay, and today I remember we put the coin on there. This indicates to the cup that we are asking for financial information. see what the reading says. And if you watched yesterday's video, you know about what I'm going to do already. But for people who are watching for the first time, so what I'm learning, this is new to me, the coffee readings, the Turkish coffee. Opposite the handle is the financial information. So we're focusing only on that. And think of something in your mind that you want to ask, get information on. That helps. And let's see what we have. Yesterday's was pretty exciting. And today, let's see, this is your view of the inside of the cup. I hope you can see that. Let's take a look. Ooh, okay. Now, I see, there's a pen. I see, okay. This is what I see, like a little sitting underneath, like here's a like a flower, a plant, and sitting right underneath it is an elf. That's what I see. And over here is a mouse with big ears, and that's directly opposite. And also here's a person. Here's a person with their arm, their hand out like that, walking this way. So this is like the past, and this going this way is the future. So this person is walking by, like adjacent, like on right behind the mouse and the little elf sitting underneath the plant. Okay, so let me look up. So a person walking going in this direction, that is somebody, and the mouse is looking that way too. So let's look up mouse. Okay, mouse. Theft. Pay attention to financial agreements. Okay, there's the message. And this may be a person in the past coming, like this, since it's a transaction that's looking that direction, I would say it's a past transaction. You want to revisit that and look for elements of theft. Mice do steal. I have a story about a mouse that I will tell you when we get into the embroidery. But, and let's look up elf sitting under a plant. Like one of those, like a snowdrop or something like that. An elf has to be good. Let's see. We don't have elf in here. Let's look up fairy, maybe fairy. Flower, a wish comes true, you will hear compliments. That's a pretty good thing. Let's see. Fairy, joy and charm, problem solving. So this kind of ties into our reading yesterday, that it had to do with lightning and getting like a bolt of insight, an idea. So I would say that there's a past transaction, and you and everybody were finding a joyful solution to the problem of the theft. And let's see, anything else we can see. Another thing I'm seeing, it's like a little bit past this here, like right down at the very lower portion. This, they also say the lower portion is the past, and the middle is the present, and the top rim is the future. So can you see, like right at the very bottom, there's a figure on a, like yesterday we had Nefertiti, which I have to, or like Cleopatra maybe, one of the Egyptian queens. That's what it looked like to me. But here it looks like she's on her boat on the Nile, going into the past. And that's what it looks like. She's like on one of those boats that has an ornate front, the prow. Let's look at boat, traveling on a boat. And someday I'll find information about boat. Visit from a friend, a good trip. So this may be that we will be visited by this queen, Nefertiti. So maybe like in your day, as you're going about your day, if you come across maybe an image or an article about the queens of Egypt, maybe she's Cleopatra, read it. Maybe there's a message, a clue, a financial clue. I'm sure she had lots of wisdom about money, because she was extremely, well, a queen. She owned a whole country of Egypt. Okay, so we're going to stop there with the messages, and I like the fact that they are coming through, like connecting to the message of the previous reading that we had the other day. Okay, so let's see here, where's our book? The desk is getting really crowded with stuff over here. Oh, here we go. I have to clear off this desk. There's so much stuff in here. Okay, so here's our book. Read from here. See how the children are growing. The adventure. U3, excerpts from letters from Indonesia, 1961 to 1965. My sister Jo with her embroidery. This kitten shows up later in the book. We hear the story about this kitten. This is Beck, my sister, and this is myself. Okay, and also I was mentioning yesterday all the countries. Like I would love these videos to travel the entire planet, and from this armchair that we are traveling. So I remembered, I was thinking, trying to come up with all the places that we've mentioned, and I remembered Tibet is one of the places. This is many leaves, clear vase, acrylic on canvas by Lo Sang Gyatso, a beautiful image for the international campaign for Tibet. Okay, so this is Tibet and Indonesia. Of course, I forgot all about Indonesia to mention it, but this is playing a huge role in our process, our co-creation process here involving everybody. September 29, 1961. Joanne lost her first tooth this week. She was so excited about it, but oddly enough, has not told her teacher. Anyway, the fairy, what did we have in our cup? The fairy came and left 10 rupai, and the family plus Jumand dressed up and went to Pakambaru tonight to spend it. Jo said she wanted to buy peanuts for everyone, but ended up buying a little box of colored pencils. Jumand was our, what we called the houseboy, which was such a not very nice name for him, because of course he was a grown man with a family and maybe even a grandfather. But those are the terminologies of the colonial, leftover colonial peoples, Anyways, I remember Jumand. I have images in my head of him. And typical Jo's an artist today. She grew up like me, being an artist. Went to art school. And no surprise. Again, no surprises. All right. Now, this is going to be the point. Oh, I want to tell you the story about the mouse. Yes. Oops. Oh, woo. I did that. The mouse. So, mouse. Let's take a look at this first before we get too far ahead of ourselves. I'm going to take this out. We'll finish that later. But, let me see where the mouth goes. And our design here. Oh, now what, Yesuri? Okay, right about here. Right about here. Okay. Right about here. Now Yesuri wants to go outside. He's been disrupting things. Yesuri is a cat with he has the monkey wrench in his character. He tends to create chaos whenever he comes into a situation. So, you know what? This is Mr. Yesuri. Oh, darn it. I have to go let him out. Oh, boy. Today's video is disrupted. Want to go outside, Yesuri? Here we go. Okay, go out. All of the disruptions, but you know what they say in these things, it's all important. That's what the tarot ladies say. Okay, here we go. Back to this. Now, so this is this color red. Let's check this out. I think that's a better match. Yeah, we're gonna use this as the color to do the outline of the mouth. And get a needle. This is I'm glad I took these statues with me to Michael's when I bought the thread, because it helped me to select the matching colors. So the story of the mouse, that maybe this is what the story that Money Spirit wants me to tell you. Because I asked for a story, and this is actually one that is all about mouse. If you remembered, if you ever watched the video in which I discuss spirit animal mouse, which is spirit mouse is one of my power animals, and the main qualities of spirit mouse are running behind in walls, for example, or through hidden pathways, and hoarding. Mice hoard. They'll gather up seeds and all kinds of things, you know, for the rainy day or to build their nests. And the other thing, so hidden pathways, hoarding, and what's the other thing? There are three. Industriousness. Hard workers, huge, they will accomplish a huge task. To accomplish, doesn't matter, you know, compared to their size, they can accomplish a huge task. So this story is about that. It was Earth Day this year, 2023. I was at the Turtle Bay Exploration Hall, sitting outside the art gallery where Deer Power was on display, and I was with two other artists. They were painters, and I had, you know, they had their like painting supplies and demonstrating painting to visitors. And I had the mouse huipil. I was set up like this, you know, to show people how I do these huipils. And so these two ladies, a grandmother and the young lady, she was the grandmother's grandson's girlfriend. So they weren't quite related officially, but they were, you know, they had a relationship. Seemed that really good. Okay, so I was telling them all about mouse powers, and how I was doing these huipils. And the lady, the grandmother, said, I have a story for you. She said that she and her husband own an RV, and in the RV, underneath, I guess the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink, I can't remember what that clarification was. Anyways, and underneath the bathroom sink or kitchen sink was a full box of Q-tips. I think you can already see where the story's going. Anyway, so one day the sink needed to be repaired. It was like dripping or something. Her husband got out the tools, opened up the cabinet doors underneath the sink, looked and found that in the box of Q-tips the only thing in there were the sticks. And they were wondering, how weird, and what happened? And they realized it was a mouse had come along and carefully removed every little piece of cotton from the cotton sticks, the Q-tips, and left just the sticks rattling around in the box. I thought that was so funny. Oh, we laughed and laughed at that story. And she said, her husband made the remark that someday they would find a nest, a very comfortable mouse nest. And I thought that was just a really perfect story for mice. And on YouTube there was another, when I was researching about mouse power, spirit mouse, kind of new to me, and a lady has a YouTube video about mouse. I can put that link in the description box too. That she also had a story about a mouse. She was living in a 2-story house with an attic, and one day I was up in the attic cleaning, and she came across a boot, and inside the boot she found popcorn kernels, and was wondering what in the world. It was full of these popcorn kernels, and she realized it had been put there, all this hoard of popcorn kernels had been put there by a mouse. From the kitchen 2 floors down, a few kernels at a time, the mouse, like maybe they put them in their mouth, in their cheeks or something like that. That's the only way I can think of it, that they don't have unless they have some other ingenious way of transporting things. I don't know. Anyways, the mouse made this trek 2 floors up to the attic and filled the boot with kernels. So that's another example of hoarding, industriousness, and running along secret pathways. We're unaware until it's all over. So that's why when you're doing a transaction, maybe in your house there's a mouse doing that, stealing from you and hoarding your something of yours. If you're missing something from your pantry, that could be who's taking it. Maybe it's not a human, maybe, because sometimes we accuse people, oh, who took my, my whatever's. Turns out it was an animal. And can we call that theft? I don't know. We can technically call it theft, but from the animal's point of view, it's just a resource sitting there available, and why not, so they take it. Yeah, I'm not condoning, if you have mouse power, I'm not saying to steal, not at all. Don't do that. That's not a good thing. That causes a severe imbalance, energetic imbalance, and we for sure don't want that. See here, we would rather not create severe energetic imbalances, because it's going to come back. And just checking this. pretty good for a start. So I guess that's the message that Money Spirit wanted to give to you about mice and stealing. And in the coffee cup reading, that was a past story. That's why the mouse, we are looking that way. And the tooth fairy may be coming up. Maybe in your family there's somebody's going to lose a tooth. Oh, you know, another thing. Or you could be finding money, like finding money. Somebody leaves a little present for you. And you can maybe, you know, spirits. Some of those, like I was watching a video on YouTube about a British scholar from Bristol University. His specialty is the folklore having to do with elves, and you know, in England they love stories having to do with elves and gnomes, wizards, dragons. You know that if you have ever enjoyed all those stories, fantasy stories. But for them, there's folklore. And this professor was told a story about meeting on a dark night, rainy, foggy. Maybe it wasn't raining, but it was foggy, and he couldn't see, you know, a foot ahead of himself on a lonely path where there was a kind of malignant spirit who preys on young men who are alone on, you know, out in the wilderness, that she will walk behind them and come up beside them and be dazzling and beautiful, engage in conversation with the men, and respond, you know, whether the, I don't know what determines if the men die or are enriched in some way, like they end up being fantastically propelled into a career, you know, that enriches their lives. So, but this professor, I forget his name, another link I could put in the description box if you're curious. And he was saying he had knowledge about how to respond to this spirit, a kind of fairy, that you say nothing. You stand still and say not a word, and this dispels the situation. So that's what he did, and he came out of it unscathed, went about his life. And so he was kind of lucky. Anyways, I'll put a link to Dr. Mindy Pell's, also Dr. Sten Ekberg. Here's my notes. Fastonic, hydrogen water. The hydrogen, the little tablet you put in the water, fizzes up the water, releases the hydrogen. You drink this water with this free form, you know, loosened up hydrogen. It bonds to the free radicals that are being spun off your cells, and it mitigates symptoms of detoxification. So that's Dr. Mindy Pell's. And Dr. Sten Ekberg, he has a really good video that explains the physical phenomenon occurring during a 5-day fast. And if I do another video, maybe I'll be further along in the fast. I hope I can stick it out. 5 days. I have only done a 3-day fast, 72 hours. So this is a big transformational. It can cause huge changes in your body, a 5-day fast. White blood cells, clearing toxins, rejuvenating the, what is that called? Dopamine receptors. That happens on day 2, which I love. Feels so fun to have refreshed and improved dopamine receptors. Everything becomes like dazzling and alive and loved and appreciated. So if ever you do a fast, at least go to 48 hours to experience that effect. I can recommend it. And 72-hour fast, that's the white blood cells. I think that's, yeah. If you have cancer, this can help with your body's ability to fight the cancer. Okay. And a 5-day fast is just like, for me personally, it has that transformational spiritual aspect because I'm working to become a fully fledged shamanic practitioner. Still a student, but whatever I can do to create a transformation in myself. Okay, there we go. There we go. This is Money Tiki Statue's story time. Thank you for watching. Leave comments, and the person who keeps liking my videos, I very much appreciate it. It warms my heart and makes me know somebody is having fun like me out there. Okay, so have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.